Hi everyone, it's Vicky here and I'm designing today for the Hip Kit Club. I have a bit of a cold, so please bear with me if I sound a bit strange. Today's assignment is to create a grid layout, and I am going to use some Project Life cards and this cute photo I have of my goddaughters jumping in the air. So I choose a few of those and stick them on the page, but I want to layer them up, so I'm also going to cut some rectangles in the same sizes from some of the other papers in the kit. This is the January 2019 kit. So here I am cutting some 3x4 of various different papers and just sort of pairing them up with the Project Life cards. Here we go. All the colours go together in the kit. They look great, so I could have used any of them really. So now I'm just pulling out a few embellishments to use. Grid layouts are always really simple because it's like having 4 little mini layouts, so you can just sort of build each section with whatever you want. So it's quite fun to do. Okay, so that's sort of more or less what I'm going to do, and just pulling out a frame and some other bits there. So the next thing I want to do is, I feel I want to do some mixed media. Now, I gesso the page here, and that's just clear gesso, and I let it dry. And the next thing you see me doing, I actually don't keep because I didn't put it quite in the places that I wanted. I used the stencil and some paste and just put some in the corners. I left it in there because I also do something else that you'll need to see once it's all layered up. So that's dry, and I layer it all on top. There we go. And once I do that, I decide that I want to put some foam on the back of some of those cards. So in a second, that's what you'll see me do. And that's why I left that in, so that you could see it. So here we go. So I put some foam on the back of the top Project Life card on each section. And then this is where I decide that the stars aren't quite where they should be. The stencil isn't quite where it should be. And I forgot to film the next bit, so this is me recreating it. So this isn't my actual layout, but this is me just showing you what I did. So I drew a square or a rectangle on my page, and I filled it with water with my paintbrush. So I was quite liberal with the paintbrush. Remember, there's gesso on the page, so there's plenty of rigidity to the paper. And then I got this is Shimmer's Frostbite, and I just filled the square with that colour. And while it's still wet, I dripped in some pop-up pink and some sunflower yellow. And we've had all of these in recent hip kits. So, and you know, within the last few months. So I just did that, and then I dried it with my heat tool. So you can see that's exactly what I did. And in a second, we're going to go back to the layout and you'll see where I put it. So just under the happy. So actually most of it's covered, but you can see it around the edges. So that's what I did. Yeah, it just didn't film. I don't know why. Something went wrong with my phone. So here we go, just layering up a bit more, sticking things down. That's a stamp from the Project Life kit, the Heidi Swap stamp. And I'm just doing the circle, one behind each of the sections there. And there's a little heart on there as well, which I use with the Shimmer's Frostbite spray, and just stamp in a couple of places on the page. They're not super clear, but I quite like them there. They just add a little bit of extra. Excuse my hair, it needs colouring. Okay, so just picking out a few more embellishments. There's a little film over that one, so I just was pulling that off there. I'm happy to use another one of these tassels. I always find things like that quite difficult to use, actually, so when I use one, I'm always really happy that I've done it. So these are the gold puffy stickers. They're very, very gold, and first of all I try them in on the layout, and I just think they're too bright, so I decide to put some white gesso in a second onto them. But first, here I am just sticking down the sections. Okay. You're seeing a lot of my head. I really should have washed my hair. Okay, so yeah, so here's where I put some white gesso onto the gold just to tone it down a little bit. I just find it's a little bit too much for the layout. And actually I take the one at the top left off completely in a second and just put that chipboard flower in there instead. So just some of the puffy stickers there going in. Okay. And little heart from the puffy stickers. And this is where I'm starting to think about my title. So what I've decided to do is live happy. I've got the happy from the January printables, and so I add live with that great alphabet that we've got there that thickers. So live happy is my title. That's just a little phrase sticker from the Everyday Musings collection, Pink Fresh. Sticking down happy. Okay, so then I decide I've got all that done. I actually want to do some stitching, and following on from my love now of chain stitch, which I really do love, it looks great, I thought that I would put chain stitch as a cross down through the middle of the page. So you don't have to watch that, it would be painful, but just the first couple of stitches that I do, and I do that in the pink. So there we go, just up and through and out the same hole, and then loop it through. It's very effective stitching. So there you go, that's that done, and then I just put some splatters just to finish it off in the sunflower yellow and the frostbite. And that's the final layout. I hope you like it. I hope it gives you some inspiration for using the Project Life cards in a grid. And it would be great to hear your comments. Thank you very much for watching. There's some close-ups there. And I'll be back soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.